Invaders from Beyond, or Update 33, is finally here, and there's plenty of key features you should know about. Let's dive in. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. The Invaders from Beyond update is the largest one for 76 in spring 2022, and despite the relatively long patch notes, there's not a lot of new content to analyze, sadly. The highlights are definitely the new Zetan event, as well as the new random encounters, a new reworked location attached to Zetan secrets, and of course Season 8. However, there's quite a few important things to know about this update, which cannot be found in the official patch notes, such as a huge Minerva update, changes to the energy and explosive damage, or even dozens of new Zetan items coming along. As such, I created this essential guide featuring the 15 major new features and changes you should know about. Well then, let the alien invasion begin, embrace the Zetans with the utmost knowledge. Let's start lightly with an evident change right at the main menu. As per usual with every huge update, Bethesda changed the main menu cinematics and added a new soundtrack to boost the Zetan team immersion. However, just like it happened with the Night of the Mod DLC, most of the new cinematics don't seem to be related to Zetans or the new features in any way. They are just random locations in Appalachia, such as the top of Tanagra town, the entrance of Valet Galleria, or the Pioneer Scouts main camp. What do they all have in common? Nothing at all. I honestly think it would make way more sense to add locations actually featured in this DLC, like the several locations where the new event can spawn, or even Dome 8, since it got reworked with this update. But hey, that's just my logical counterpart speaking louder, I suppose. At least the new soundtrack has alien vibes, lots of it. So, at least something. Listen up shortly. If I had to choose the main highlight of Update 33, I would definitely go for the Invaders from Beyond public event. It's by far the most extensive new feature part of this entire DLC. It's a fun and dynamic event featuring different spawn locations, new enemies, several bosses, lots of kaboom, mines, bombs everywhere, and of course lots of free goodies as rewards. Too bad the event is just seasonal, which means it will only be active for a limited time. The first edition is scheduled to run from the 1st of March until the 15th, exactly 2 weeks. It's not much if you take in consideration that the event has 20 unique new plants to farm for, and you know how the RNG system works for 76. Anyway, if you are wondering about the full rewards list and drop rates, here's some more details data mined by Maddock Rot. For the 20 new reward displays in-game, including 2 new guns, you can always check my complete guide. I also explain the event stages there and provide strategy tips to stay alive and complete the objectives as smoothly as possible. Since I already covered the event there, I will obviously not do it here because it would be repeating myself. There's actually more into it than you might think. Anyway, curious fact, you cannot hit or jump on the Zetan ship. I surely tried. Your character goes through the ship as if it has no physics. Now this happens because the ship works like a ghost or invisible asset. So yeah, in reality it has no physical presence in the world, and that's why that happens. Mystery solved. The Invaders from Beyond will change Appalachia forever, and Bethesda wants to make sure their presence will be among us, even when the seasonal event is not around for months. So besides the 20 new free rewards from the event itself, they created dozens of other alien and Zetan items, which will gradually release through the Atomic Shop during the following months. I recently made an item overview where I display lots of these new Zetan items, free and paid ones of course. I am running some of the Atomic Shop data mine stuff in the footage, so you guys know what to expect in the following weeks. But let's say Bethesda created a full Zetan building set with floors, a wall, catwalk, a pod, computer panels, a generator, tables, chairs, a sliding door, you name it. There's decor, there's even an emote. It's a very complete bundle or bundles because there's so much stuff. I don't believe they intend to put everything together in one single bundle, but only time will tell when and how will Bethesda release all this new content. The next point is another huge part of Update 33, since it introduces over a dozen of new random encounters, all dedicated to the Zetan faction. The alien invasion is going to feel a bit more real this way. After all, there is a good chance to stumble across aliens randomly during your adventures. And yes, this means you don't necessarily need to do the Invaders from Beyond event to see or fight off Zetans. According to the Fallout 76 data mining community, there are 14 new alien random encounters, but last I tested during the PTS, only 6 of them were active and spawning. Here is the full list with the 14 encounters. I took the liberty to highlight the 6 active ones in green, which is exactly what I found and documented in my other video here. Now, I know that hunting specific random encounters, even at the right spawns, can be utterly frustrating and time consuming, so if you wish to check what new encounters are live, you can always check my video. And once again, I cannot confirm the other 8 encounters are now active. They should be, but I cannot confirm 100%. If you are craving for new content, then you surely won't want to miss Dome 8, a reworked location with Update 33 and a very special place in terms of Zetan contextualization in Appalachia. First of all, this location is now attached to one of the new random encounters. You need to find it in order to obtain a new key, which opens Dome 8. Then inside, this small lab holds hidden lore and some secrets. I don't want to spoil you here, so I'm being as generic as I possibly can. However, if you wish to know the details, like what to do step by step in order to access Dome 8, or even just to know what to look for, like Homer's panel or a secret buff, they are very easy to miss if you don't have a guide. Then you know the drill. I also covered it in another guide, so please help yourself. It's a really fun experience. It's a little bit like detective work, a multi-variety activity, I would say. Very, very engaging. Now, talking about new content, let's dive into Season 8, A Better Life Underground, with yet again a new array of free new rewards to collect. I must confess, I haven't made an overview for it yet, and there's a reason behind it. As you can probably imagine at this point, I don't exactly agree with the mainstream opinion on how Season 8 is amazing or the best season ever, and that's because not everything is as it looks like. Now, don't get me wrong, Season 8 does look promising in a way, and it will surely be a blast for many of you. It can be a matter of opinion. However, if you care about the truth, then you might want to add an extra point before formulating your final thoughts here. And that's because Season 8 is a low-effort board with hardly any brand new items. I'm serious, guys. A huge part of these so-called new rewards are far from being new. They are either variants of existing items, recycled old content, which has been part of the game files for years, or they are world assets live from the release day, but only now they are being available to players. If you are a veteran player, then these so-called new rewards should probably look really familiar to you, and that's because they are just variations of existing items. And before you guys go on about how I'm whining again, it's really not the case. I'm just trying to bring the truth to the surface. Bethesda hardly had any work putting up this season together, and that has a deep meaning behind it. Anyway, I won't deny it, there's some stuff to be excited about, such as the Vault Tech bicycle, which will boost your endurance, the Vault Survivor outfit and backpack, they look amazing, as well as the Responders building set, another great addition to the building community, or even the Hermaceutical Chemistry bench, that one looks really, really original. Lastly, I just want to make it clear that the upcoming mail posts are pure decor. They are not introducing any new mailing system or anything of the sorts. Also, they have been in the game files for many years as decor. I know some of you were really expecting something more, like actual mailboxes, and even speculated about sending items or letters to one another, but that's not going to happen, at least not according to the game files and to the roadmap itself. With that being said, let's move to the next point. It's time to discuss the Fallout Worlds update. I honestly don't think it's a big deal, but according to Bethesda, it's a key core feature. It's even on the 2022 roadmap. So here we are. Fallout Worlds just received a bunch of new settings for custom servers, such as carry weight options, perk effect options. You can even disable the VAT system now if you want to. These settings are definitely great to create more challenging and realistic worlds. I mean, can you imagine playing with no perks, hardly any inventory space, and no VATs on top of it all? It sounds like a true 76 nightmare I wouldn't want to be part of, to be honest. Anyway, Bethesda also added 2 new building options for the relaxed main setting, the collision and free modes, which allow players to pretty much intersect items with one another without glitching. It's now a feature in custom worlds. Finally, they also added the Mothman Equinox Pink sort of storm, as well as the confetti effect for kills. Oh, and let's not forget about the small progression feature we now have. Players can complete their daily and weekly challenges in Fallout Worlds, and the completion and earned score will carry over to any other mode. That's definitely a step towards the right path, I would say. There are a few bugs with the challenges, yes, but nothing too major, I would say. I'm working on an in-depth video for this group of changes, so stay tuned for more information. Well, let's move to some uncharted territories now. Energy damage changed drastically with Update 33. It got buffed as a result of a major bug fix. As the background footage, I will be displaying energy damage comparisons between Update 32 and 33, so you guys can see and feel the change in action. Now, the PTS patch notes didn't even include a note about this change, possibly because it's a rather complex matter to explain, but it's no less important because of that. Anyhow, from what I could gather, the energy damage calculations have always malfunctioned since the early days, which naturally generated a not so accurate damage output. The calculations involves a lot of factors, such as defense rules, defense types, elemental prefixes, legendary effects, and so much more. And if one of them is not working as intended, it's obvious that the result, in this case the final damage output, won't be correct. Anyway, Tyr has a great video explaining the energy damage changes and how it got fixed, so if you guys would like to know more, I highly suggest to check his video. Now, the most important thing to know here is that energy damage got buffed as a result of that fix. Energy damage increased with all energy weapons, and it's now a much more viable type of weapon for endgame. Of course, some will get a bigger boost than others since each weapon has its own damage formula, but that's the general rule. Energy damage got buffed and energy legacies became even stronger. However, it seems like Bethesda has a concrete plan on how to fix the issue with legacy weapons, which makes them overpowered right now and ever since I can remember, really. The good news for legacy users is that this change is probably not coming anytime soon, surely not with Update 33, so let's keep moving. Talking about damage changes, explosive damage got changed once again, and this time nobody really knows why or how. This change also has no patch notes so far, which makes it even more difficult to understand. It really resembles my test results conducted in early stages of Update 32 PTS. Explosive damage also changed there, but then Bethesda restored it back to normal and nothing much came out of it. However, now it seems like they brought that change back and it's going live as it is. If you guys know more about this one, feel free to share in the comments below. I would love to know more about this. I did cross tests as shown in the footage, and I can confirm the changes are drastic, guys. It's really drastic. With update 32, I legit take no damage from most or like 90% of explosive and fire damage sources, even while not using strength in numbers as shown. My ghost weapons, for example, cannot hurt me, Scorch Beast's sonic waves cannot hurt me, and most car explosions do 0 damage to me, if of course I use Fireproof rank 3. However, with update 33, things are the opposite. Using the same exact build, perks, mutations, and so on, the results couldn't be any more different. I now receive self-damage from all my explosive and ghost weapons, all of them. Sonic waves can easily kill me as a bloodied build, and any car explosion can take me out very quickly. It's insane, and I would risk to say it's also a nerf to bloodied builds, because now we will die from any small explosion, from any sort of explosive damage, fire damage, like anything blows up and we are dead, pretty much like that. I honestly don't understand the drastic change. It's like going from 0 to 100 or 100 to 0. And that's not healthy for the game, is it? There is no balance in this change, which makes me believe it's not intended. Still, intended or not, it's a major change to be aware of. It's something we have to adapt and live with now. Minerva holds an important role in 76 for many players. After all, she offers a cheaper way to obtain plans, originally only obtainable from certain NPCs or even daily operations, something a lot of people dislike to do, and I cannot blame them. Let's say she is a very convenient trader. She provides choice, and choice is always great to have anywhere. Anyhow, with patch 33, Minerva just received her largest inventory pool update. Besides her usual 15 inventories, now she's selling 35 more plans, but all of them are old Nuclear Winter Overseer rewards, which means none of these new additions of new items are really new. It's basically the return of old stuff. The list includes popular items like the Ring of Fire Pit, the Wasteland Love Seat, and even the Wrapped Presents, among many others. Therefore, if for some reason you skipped the discontinued Battle Royale mode, or you never reach rank 100 for whatever reason, then here's your chance to put your hands on 35 new rewards, which were previously exclusive to the now disabled Nuclear Winter mode. Now, when it comes to Minerva's schedule, I highly advise you guys to regularly check the Where is Minerva website. The link is right below the video. And no, they are not sponsoring me or anything. It's just a good tool to have. And I do like to promote quality. Since we are on the topic of traders, there's another change to know about regarding Sam at the Foundation. As per usual with every season update, Bethesda adds new plans for the utility items released in the previous season. In this case, for Season 7, they released the plans for the light allies Catherine and Zerzo, as well as the West Virginia slot machine. However, in-game, I could only find the latest, while the 2 ally plans are missing. They are nowhere to be seen there. I even asked the data miner Maddock Roth, and he confirmed that the plans are part of Sam's inventory pool in the game files, as shown in the screenshot, so they should show up sooner or later. Maybe there is some sort of minor bug blocking them from showing. I'm not sure. Anyway, it should appear very soon. If not, we can report it and hope Bethesda fix it soon. Let's continue. Okay, now one of the main, if not the biggest, bug fixes of this entire update is regarding the popular double event nuke bug. You know, the one that would enable 2 boss events at once if one location was already nuked and then another one would get a second nuke. Let's say the Prime Fisher was nuked, then if someone nukes the Monogam Mine, then both events, Scorch Earth and a Colossal Problem, would pop up at the same time. That bug was live for a very long time, but as you can imagine, it was never designed to be that way. It was a handy and convenient bug for most of us, I know, but now it's fixed, as shown in the footage. It's no more. I came across multiple nukes during the PTS period, and double nuking as described no longer triggers 2 events at once. I saw it happen many times, and I can confirm it's totally fixed, guys. Now, only the latest nuke will enable the respective event as it should be. Besides the patch note, Bethesda also issued a comment on their reasons to get this one fixed. I quote, "We felt that fixing this issue is important for the overall health of the game." Well, I can't exactly disagree that this bug was game-breaking, but with so many other game-breaking issues around, I have my doubts about their chosen priorities here. Another major change live with Update 33 is about Stimpaks. There are several changes here, actually. First of all, Stimpaks and diluted Stimpaks now weigh 25% less. Let me show you some comparisons with the before and after the change, so you guys can see how much it weighs now. Note that in the first comparison, I was using Traveling Pharmacy Max Rank without the perk. These are the real values though. 0.75 per Stimpak and 0.38 per diluted one, in contrast with £1 and 0.5 respectively with the previous update. It's a huge change. Yeah, it's 25% after all. Well, I suppose our inventories are a bit lighter now, the first time you log in. The second change is regarding medical vending machines all over the wasteland. First of all, they now sell way more Stimpaks than before, a fixed 14 Stimpaks and 8 diluted per machine, per reset, I guess. A huge change since before you could find a couple of Stimpaks at most and that's it. The second change is related to the prices. Bethesda reduced the Stimpak and diluted Stimpak prices by 25% as well. In other words, players can now buy more and cheaper Stimpaks from such vending machines. I say muito bom to this one. It's actually a very reasonable change, especially for new characters and new players. Bethesda added a new setting to all game modes to hide equipped backpacks. This has been a long requested setting from the community, so it's a good thing to see that Bethesda is delivering. Anyway, you might think this option is located under display, which is the most logical option, but for whatever reason, Bethesda added it at the bottom of the game tab instead, not display. Well, okay then. Anyway, this setting is very self-explanatory. When you turn it off, your backpack becomes invisible, and when it's on, it shows as per usual. I already tested this over a dozen of times, and I haven't found any bugs yet. It seems to be working as intended, so that's great. As the last new feature, I selected the new Buildable Pirate Radio. Players can now choose between 3 radios for their workshops, camps, and shelters. Note that the Pirate Radio channel was introduced with the previous update, and it plays lots of alternative audio, such as Fallout advertisements, and some lore on Zorbo and his background history. For copyright reasons, I will not play any of the tracks here, since, well, the last time I went live, I had the Pirate Radio running for a couple of minutes, and then later I learned that YouTube copyrights the songs there, so if you are a creator on YouTube, this is something to have in mind. Lastly, Bethesda added some new tracks to the Pirate Radio, but they didn't specify how many or any sort of detail about it. Oh well, it looks like it's up to us to play detective and find out what it means and what new stuff have they added there. Invaders from Beyond is definitely a positive update for Fallout 76. It brings some new content as well as plenty of bug fixes and healthy changes overall. However, I risk to say that what we are getting is nowhere close to what the game needs. Where are the new missions, the new NPCs, choices, lore, and all of these iconic Fallout features, which normally makes or breaks a DLC? Don't get me wrong, new events and new rewards are also necessary, but they shouldn't exclude or replace other types of new content, if you know what I mean. And by that, I mean mostly missions in proper context. I think it would have been really delightful to see this new content followed by a few missions introducing players to the Zetan faction, their origins, their purpose here, and so on. It would make everything else way more interesting in my view. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts on Update 33 in the comments section below. Alright then, that's my essentials guide for the Invaders from Beyond. These are the 15 things you really should know about it. Of course, there's a lot more things, but most are minor bug fixes and changes with hardly any impact on the gameplay. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more 76 content, and as per usual, a huge thanks to all my dear supporters. Lastly, my thoughts are with Ukraine. I plan to go live this week and raise some funds for the cause. I can't think of a better one currently after all the courage, determination and devotion I've seen from an entire nation fighting off oppression and tyranny and fighting in favor of freedom and the democratic ways of life. Well, enjoy the fresh content and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Until then, take care, adios, bye bye!